Oh my goodness. You're so nice. Thank you. I appreciate you a lot. Thank you. All right.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to Kitsap Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Whoever you are and wherever you come from, for this time we are here, one gathered community, and all are welcome. Please rise in body and spirit, to join in singing our musical call to worship, Watershed. Now this is a new one, and we have our wonderful guest speaker, Alena, to lead us, and the words will be on the screens.
Switch.
We'll do it together.
Okay.
Here we go. We will reach for one another as the winter turns to spring. We will flow across the great divide and transform everything. I am one, but we are many, so together we will be. From a droplet to a river, mighty flowing to the sea. Let's do it again. We will reach for one another as the winter turns to spring. We will flow across the great divide and transform everything. I am one, but we are many, so together we will be. From a droplet to a river, mighty flowing to the sea. One last time. We will reach for one another as the winter turns to spring. We will flow across the great divide and transform everything. I am one, but we are many, so together we will be. From a droplet to a river, mighty flowing to the sea. That was our first duet together, so thank you for sharing that with me.
And it is wonderful to hear you. I couldn't see the words, so I was just kind of picking it up where I could, but oh, you're in for a wonderful service. I got to hear Alena and Brian practicing, and there's so much beautiful music here this morning, so thank you for being here. My name is Lisa Johnson, and I use she, her pronouns. My self-description, to help people who don't see well, is this. I have kind of brownish hair. I can't say I look like my dog anymore because I quit coloring my hair. And I'm about 5'2", and I'm wearing a black and white patterned dress and a black sweater and dark, heavy glasses. Oh, and I'm on the worship committee. And the choir rehearsal starts this Thursday at 5:30. So if you want to come, you're welcome. All right. So our guest speaker this morning is Alena Hemingway, our choir director and member of the music team. She has been part of KUUF since she was 8 years old. Alena, I still remember you getting up and singing that wonderful song from Les Mis, Castle in the Clouds.
Castle on a cloud.
On a cloud.
I've forgotten that. Wow.
Yes, and she was maybe 8, I think. Yeah. Her future was assured. She feels she considers herself a lifelong UU and feels very fortunate for this place. Oh, shoot. This is the first time I've used my iPad for this, and it just froze up on me. Yes. So, okay, now we're back. Okay. We strive to be an inclusive community. If you are visiting this morning, please participate however you feel comfortable. You're also invited to stay and meet people during our coffee hour. If you're attending online today, please, you're welcome to introduce yourself in the chat. And I'd like to call your attention to what's happening immediately after the service today. There is an amazing spread out in the farmer's market. We've got homemade biscuits and chocolate gravy. Have you ever heard such a thing? I understand it's a southern thing. It's a little bit sweet. There's also freshly made granola and so many vegetables. Beautiful red tomatoes. Only two things the money can't buy: true love and homegrown tomatoes. And a bunch of other things too. So thank you to everyone who has brought things in, and thank you for everyone who takes things home. For more announcements about KUF activities, please see the weekly email newsletter, The Candle. And thank you for all sitting where there are plenty of spaces for people to come in for. So now, would you please join me in taking a few centering breaths? And we acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the Aboriginal territory of the Suquamish people. Expert fishermen, canoe builders, and basket weavers, the Suquamish live in harmony with the lands and waterways along Washington's central Salish Sea, as they have for thousands of years. Here, the Suquamish live and protect the land and waters of their ancestors for future generations, as promised by the Point Elliott Treaty of 1855. And today we're introducing new hymns from our new online hymnal called Sing Out Love, and words will appear on the screen. As a congregation, we're now subscribing to this with access for all music staff, worship committee members, and Tanisha. The vision of the new hymnal is this: to build a living collection of song resources through an accessible, equitable online platform grounded in UU values. This virtual hymnal will help Unitarian Universalism live into our prophetic calling as a joyful, liberatory, and anti-oppressive faith. It will include hymns from both the hymnals we use now, plus 5 new hymns are added each week. And some of them will be from Alena's own father, Mike Menifee. Are we singing any of those today?
No, you've heard a lot of them before, and you will again. These are all
Okay, all right. So, please rise in body or spirit. Excuse me? I'm glad you're feeling better, though, Bonner. Yes, we acknowledge our land and its ancestors. Now please rise in body and spirit to join in singing Infinitely Whole, with music by Alex Pham and words by Bran Lennox.
All right. So this one is a little bit different. There are 2 parts to it, okay? So it's all right, sweetie pea. Well, she's going to come stand with me. Is that okay? Come on, sweetie. All right. Come here, babe. All right. So we're going to begin, and it's going to be the easy part. We're all going to sing it together. And then if you feel like I'm an easy part kind of a person, oh, come here, babe. It's okay, sweetie. There you go. You want to say hi? If you feel like I'm an easy part kind of a person, you keep singing that part and follow Brian. If you want a little bit of a challenge, you'll follow me, and we'll overlap the 2 parts. Does that make sense? All right, let's do it. Here we go. We were all born infinitely whole. 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 Now you can keep that going, or you can try the other part with me. Infinitely whole. And here we go. We are each of us enough. We are each of us complete. We are each of us enough, just exactly as we are. We are each of us enough. We are each of us complete. We are each of us enough, just exactly as we are. We are each of us enough. We are each of us complete. We are each of us enough, just exactly as we are. One last time. We are each of us enough. We are each of us complete. We are each of us enough, just exactly as we are. Well done.
Our opening words this morning are from Hold Fast to Love by Lynn Harrison. You'll be singing these words later. Hold fast to love, for it's not broken. Hold fast to love, it will endure. Hold fast to love, hold your heart open. For all this hurt, love is the cure. Now, I'd like to welcome Ed Luby up to light our chalice. Ed is a guy who wears many hats, literally and figuratively. He's filled various roles with KUUF and describes himself as an explorer in body and spirit. Currently, he's exploring the idea of training a handlebar mustache and asks that you kindly resist the urge to grab it and yell out, "Vroom, vroom, look at me, I'm a four-wheeler." That gets really annoying, he says. Join me now in lighting our chalice with these words by Christine Robinson. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Now please join me in the spoken affirmation. We gather as a caring community, seeking life's deeper meanings. We value diversity and affirm the worth of all living things. We strive to speak truth in love, to act for justice, to grow in spirit, and to care for the earth. We celebrate with open hearts and minds the creative power that sustains and transforms us.
Good morning. My name is Melinda Hughes. I'm the Director of Lifespan Faith Formation. My pronouns are she and her. Today I am wearing a purple tank top with some white geometric designs on it. I have chunky black glasses and strawberry blonde hair. I am going to share a fun story with you today. Well, I don't know if it's fun is the right word. I'm going to share a story I really enjoy with you today. It's called After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then one day, I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. After that day, I became afraid of heights. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really miss the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches, but day after day, I kept trying and trying until I got it just right. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Unfortunately, accidents happen. They always do. I almost walked away again, but then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time, until I was no longer afraid. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Hopefully, you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. And learned how to fly. This story was an inspiration for our next song. This story was an inspiration for our next song, Let Out My Wings. Let Out My Wings was composed by Ashley Mulclair. She shares in Sing Out Love that this is a prayer for transformation and a call for gentleness with ourselves in hard times. Please rise in body or spirit to join in singing, Let Out My Wings.
We'll sing the whole song through together twice. It's pretty short. I think you'll like it. Here we go. I'm not just broken, I am breaking open. The cracks that you see are gonna let out my wings. You're not just broken, you're breaking open. The cracks that you see are gonna let out your wings. We're not just broken, we're breaking open. The cracks that you see are gonna let out our wings. I'm not just broken, I'm breaking open. The cracks that you see are gonna let out my wings. You're not just broken, you're breaking open.
cracks that you see are gonna let out my wings. We're not just broken, we're breaking open. The cracks that you see are gonna let out our wings.
Got to catch up with us again. Oh, while I'm finding that, important announcement. I'm sorry, it's kind of out of order for the announcements. But next Sunday, do not eat breakfast before you come to church, because next Sunday is the 5th Sunday of the month. And we got some suggestions in the worship committee survey. Some people said, we'd like a little more time, like during services, to do some things that are collegial, that are just visiting with each other. So we decided that we'll start off this 5th Sunday with a brunch put on by the worship committee. So we're going to ask our wonderful kitchen volunteers not to do anything. We're making, you'll see in the candle, a wonderful menu, and we'll be here to feed you. And so just remember, don't eat breakfast. And what? Oh yes, other important thing. We're going to try starting a new ritual. The 31st is the first day of school for a lot of people. And so we're going to do a backpack blessing, which it will celebrate, give a little token to everyone. Students, it's primarily for children, but anyone who's going back to school. We'll give you a little token to take with you so that you know you have this beloved community at your back as you start with your new challenges of the school year.
Including teachers?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Okay. So, as a religious community, together we can do the work of many. By sharing in the sacred act of giving, we transform gratitude into generosity toward our mission. One way that our mission inspires us to act on our shared values is to share our weekly offering with a local nonprofit agency, providing services within our larger community. Our charitable giving recipient for the month of August is Bremerton Food Line. If you would like your offering to go to this month's charitable giving recipient, Bremerton Food Line, please use the little white envelope that's in your order of service. If you need an envelope, please raise your hand, and our ushers will, bring you one. And if you want your offering to go to KUUF, just put it in the basket as normal. So, instructions on ways to make your gift, including a QR code, should be up there on the screen. Is it? Yeah, good. So let there be an offering to strengthen and sustain our beloved community with a gift of music from our music director, Brian Kenny, We Rise by Batya Levine. Oh, and Alena, yes, of course. Oh, you're in for a treat.
We rise, humbly hearted rise, won't be divided, rise, with spirit to guide us, rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here, and we rise. All of the children rise. Elders with wisdom rise. Ancestors surround us, rise. In hope and prayer,
we find ourselves here in hope and prayer. We're right here in hope and prayer. We find ourselves here in hope and prayer. We're right here and we rise
up from the wreckage, rise with tears and with courage, rise fighting for life, we rise
in hope and prayer. We find ourselves here in hope and prayer. We're right here in hope and prayer. We find ourselves here in hope and prayer. We're right here.
Join me. We rise, humbly hearted, rise, won't be divided, rise, with spirit to guide us, rise.
Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you. I'm very excited about the music we're going to be singing very soon. Oh, did I mention that 5 new songs are added each week?
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. And also, I think I skipped the part in here about they've set this up so that all of the musicians are getting fairly compensated for their music, and it's done, following our values of equity. So wonderful. And so far, all of the things I've heard have been wonderful. Yes?
Can we access this online for ourselves?
Not at this point.
Not now.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I can explain that actually. You can search for specific songs and you can hear a recording of them. And I think you might actually be able to see the lyrics as well. You just won't have access to all of the stuff that like the music team does.
So how do you go to the UUA and /music and?
Singoutlove.org, I believe.
It's wrong on the screen.
Oh.
It says Sing Out Loud.
Oh, well, it's Sing Out Love.
yeah, it's Sing Out Love. That's what it's called. Okay, all right. Please rise in body and spirit to join me in singing our children out to go to their programs. The words for May You Go With Joy, written by Mike Menifee,
And in the new hymnal.
will appear on the screens. When shared together, our joys are amplified and our sorrows are lessened. We have quite a number of joys and sorrows here. Uh-oh, I need a magnifying glass for these. First one is from Diane Jorgensen. Just a quick note to share my joy of having been released from the hospital and started on a taper from some necessary meds. I am well enough to make a fun trip and will be in Maine for all those healthy wild blueberries and some East Coast seafood. A great joy to enjoy a place I've never been and do so with my daughter, son-in-law, and my granddaughter. Truly a great joy. Well, Dana, great. Thank you. And from Catherine Owen, this is a sorrow and a joy. My mother, Alice Owen, passed away this week at 96 years old. She was a member of Edmonds Unitarian Church and a lifelong artist, nature lover, and social justice activist. Our joy is that she was able to choose how and when she wanted to leave, thanks to support we received from End of Life Washington, Evergreen Hospice, and a wonderful team of death doulas. And Beth Wilson shares a joy, grateful thanks to the musicians and Chalice Circle Number 4 who created our last KUUF musical barbecue in Olalla yesterday. 40 KUUFers attended, contributing to our church's financing. Thanks to all for coming and to those who helped. And thank you, Beth and Paul, for hosting us again. It's been wonderful. And by the way, if anybody found my iPhone 16 there yesterday, I'm still looking for it. Okay, we got some more. This is from Regina May. We are having a little tea house hour after church next week. Donations for Regina's daughter's Japan trip. And joy is music, meeting favorite podcast women that make me laugh. It was a karaoke night for the Break Room Chronicles. They are so nice in person, and that's from Diane Stewart. We have a joy from Judy Arbogast. For 45 years of marriage and companionship and travels together for Jim and Judy Arbogast. The celebration will ensue with 2 weeks in Cancun starting next Saturday. Yay. And let's see, this comes from Marit Bakali. I hope I said that right, Marit. That I am finally done with grad school as of Wednesday, and I'm launching my nutrition and wellness coaching practice. Thanks to all for the love and support of my family, especially my mom, Cynthia, and my daughter, Cece. And this one is from Bonner. Bonner's joy is for the 7 total members who visited him when he was in hospital last week. Another joy for being the one on the road to recovery. And yet another joy, are you getting all these candles, Jim? For the caring committee for sending Ellen Newbergs and Margaret Wilder to my home bearing food and flowers. Their soup and Hungarian chicken paprika almost made this entire ordeal worthwhile. From Bonner. Glad you're doing better, Bonner. And we light a final candle for those joys and sorrows that are still too tender to share. Please join me in a moment of prayer or intention. In the spirit of community, in which we find strength and common purpose, we share our joys, our sorrows, our hopes, and dreams. We have turned our minds and hearts toward one another in trust, giving love, seeking comfort, and celebrating together. We are part of the web of life that makes us one with all humanity, one with all the universe. In all the moments of our lives, for those loved ones and events shared this morning, and for those we yet hold in the silence of our hearts, we are truly grateful for the love and support of this beloved community. May the spirit of life and love bring peace to us all. Amen, and blessed be. Please remain seated as we sing the hymn, Heart Opening Song.
My heart is open
Our first reading is A Song of Hope by Charles Bertram Johnson. Day is at the gate. I am risen late. Clouds laze in the air, clouds sleep on the grass. I have song to spare till the shadows pass. Day is at the noon. No thread of bow or moon. Rain is in the air, drenched and limp the grass. I have song to spare till the shadows pass. Day is at the close. Faith no logic knows. Rain clouds blur the air. All the world is done. I have song to spare till tomorrow's sun.
Hi, I'm Alena, and I never gave my self-description. So I'm a relatively tall woman in my early 40s with long, crazy brown hair and a dark blue dress on. Our second reading is a quote from Pete Seeger. Once upon a time, wasn't singing a part of everyday life as much as talking, physical exercise, and religion? Our distant ancestors, wherever they were in the world, sang while pounding grain, paddling canoes, or walking long journeys. Can we begin to make our lives once more all of a piece? Finding the right songs and singing them over and over is a way to start. And when one person taps out a beat, while another leads into the melody, or when three people discover a harmony they never knew existed, or a crowd joins in on a chorus as though to raise the ceiling a few feet higher, then they also know there is hope for the world. Now join me in a moment of silent reflection, followed by our post-reflection music.
I forgot for a minute who I belong to. The Mama Earth, the wind and rain, the beauty and the pain. I'm not alone. For me, the world was created. I'm not alone. To dust I will return.
I'm not alone.
I forgot
I'm not alone.
for a minute
I'm not alone.
who I belong to.
I'm not alone.
Mama Earth,
I'm not
the
alone.
wind and rain,
I'm not
the
alone.
beauty
I'm
and
not
the
alone.
pain.
I'm not alone. I'm not alone.
Me, the
I'm
world
not
was
alone.
created.
I'm not alone.
I'm not alone.
I'm not
To
alone.
dust I will return.
I'm not
I
alone.
forgot
I'm not
for
alone.
a minute
I'm not
who
alone.
I
I'm not
belong
alone.
to.
I'm not
The
alone.
Mama Earth,
I'm not
the
alone.
wind and rain,
I'm not
the
alone.
beauty
I'm
and
not
the
alone. I'm not alone.
pain.
I'm not alone. I'm not
For
alone.
me, the
I'm
world
not
was
alone.
created.
I'm not alone.
I'm not alone.
I'm not
To
alone.
dust I
I'm
will
not
return.
alone. I'm not alone.
I
I'm
forgot
not
for a
alone.
minute
I'm not alone.
who I
I'm not
belong
alone.
to.
I'm not alone.
Mama Earth,
I'm not
the
alone.
wind and rain,
I'm not
the
alone.
beauty
I'm
and
not
the
alone. I'm not
pain.
alone. I'm not alone. I'm not
For
alone.
me, the
I'm
world
not
was
alone.
created.
I'm not
Hi again. I'm wearing a newt hat now. Okay. I'm a little nervous, so please forgive me. I know you're all here with me. Thank you. All right. Well, many of you know and saw earlier that I have a beautiful 3.5-year-old daughter, Isla, who I'm lucky enough to stay at home with most days. She's amazing. And naturally, I haven't slept or read anything longer than a picture book since March 2023. You guys know. Okay. Well, a few weeks ago, something miraculous happened. I read a book, an actual grown-up Dan Brown book with mystery and intrigue and pages and a bunch of noetic science. Now, I see some confused faces. I didn't know what that was either. So, noetic science is the study of human consciousness, and among other things, the possibility that our minds may interact with the physical world in ways we don't yet understand. I learned that some researchers believe consciousness may not be confined to our individual brains. It may be what they call non-local, a natural force like gravity out there connecting us all. To me, that started to sound pretty UU. Yeah? Well, some of the claims got really wild. Okay, bear with me here. They also study things like telepathy and precognition. Can one mind receive information from another? Can we know something is going to happen before it happens? And then there's psychokinesis. Can our thoughts or intentions actually affect physical events outside of our bodies? Can our minds actually influence the future? And one of the experiments described in the book floored me. Okay, people sat in front of a computer while their bodies and brains were being monitored. And the computer would randomly choose a picture to show them. Sometimes something calm and neutral, sometimes something emotionally intense. The computer shows the picture, the brain and body react, right? Well, here's the crazy part. Their bodies sometimes seem to react not only before the computer showed the picture, but before the computer had even randomly chosen which picture it was going to show. So somehow, on some level, they appeared to be responding to something that hadn't happened yet. Or another interpretation, were they actually influencing the computer's choice? Ooh, okay. I was like, what? I was totally wrapped at this point, Googling noetic science studies. Is this real? Is it peer-reviewed? Holy cow, science is cool, right? What if our thoughts really can change the future? Well, and then I realized, of course they can. Maybe not by willing the computer to choose a different picture, although I'm not in a position to rule that out. But we change the future every single day, right? Every idea we nurture changes what we might do next. What we think affects our choices, and our choices become actions. And when we share those thoughts, when an idea moves from one mind to another, the possibilities multiply. We imagine a future that doesn't exist yet, and then we act to make it real. And that's what we want, right? To change the future for the better, to create the beloved community. Okay, what does any of this have to do with writing songs? Well, a thought by itself is fleeting. It can disappear as quickly as it arrives, but sometimes somebody has a thought that they don't want to lose. So they write it down. They tell somebody. They turn it into a story. And sometimes they turn it into a song. And songs are remarkably good at carrying ideas. Pete Seeger said, "The key to the future of the world is finding the optimistic stories and letting them be known." I love that, because it doesn't say we should ignore the terrible stories, and there are plenty of them. It says that if we want a different future, we have to tell stories about the future we want. Victor Hugo put it another way. It is by the real that we exist. It is by the ideal that we live. The real is what is in front of us. It may be beautiful or bleak, but the ideal is what we can imagine beyond all that. And that brings me back to the first song we sang this morning, Watershed. I am one, we are many, so together we will be. From a droplet to a river, mighty flowing to the sea. Remember? Composer Soren Ostenfeld describes Watershed as an affirmation of the power of collective action and prayer to create hope when it's hard to access. The song grew out of nature walks and reflections from UU clergy friends who had traveled to Minneapolis in early 2026, answering a national call from local faith leaders to stand with the community during the ICE crackdowns there. Hundreds of clergy came from around the country to witness, protest, sing, pray, and support local resistance. That makes the song hit differently for me. It wasn't written because everything felt hopeful. It was written while people were staring directly at something frightening and unjust, and still choosing to imagine collective power. The reality came first. The song imagined something beyond it. And once I started reading the stories behind the songs we sung this morning, I've realized that almost every songwriter was doing some version of this. Our opening hymn, Infinitely Whole, began not as a song, but in a sermon by Reverend Bran Lennox, writing to, quote, challenge the narrative of brokenness, directed at and sometimes internalized by disability and trans communities. And then composer Alex Pham heard something in those words, and Alex says they felt a resonance with this passage and turned it into the two-part song that we sang earlier today. We are each of us enough. We are each of us complete. We are each of us enough, just exactly as we are. Yeah. I love that journey. A thought became a sermon became a song. A community began singing it. And this morning, that thought made it all the way here to us. Sometimes we write songs because the story being told needs to change. Yeah. And then there was Let Out My Wings, inspired by our Time for All Ages story. Humpty Dumpty doesn't stay broken after his fall. He discovers who he is and takes flight. Ashley Mulcair describes the song as a prayer for transformation and a call for gentleness with ourselves in hard times. I'm not just broken, I'm breaking open. The cracks that you see are gonna let out my wings. Yeah. Sometimes we write songs because we need to imagine what might be waiting for us on the other side of the fall. And then there's the song you just heard as our post-reflection, I Am Not Alone, written by Jewish musicians Ali Halpert and Anat Halevi Hochberg. Ali describes it as a reminder that even as things are increasingly difficult, we are never alone. We have each other, nature, the creator, however we name them, and our ancestors at our backs. And Anat calls it a song to self, a reminder of the support we receive from ourselves, the divine, Mother Nature, and each other. I forgot for a minute who I belong to. Sometimes we write songs because there are things we know are true and still need to be reminded of. My husband, Rich, who you may have seen earlier, he said something to me last night that made me think about this all from another direction. He told me that he almost never listens to the lyrics in songs. What? I'm a singer. This blew my mind. So he's listened to the band Tool for years. Has anybody heard them? Yeah. And it was literally years of listening to this band before he really noticed how spiritual some of the lyrics were and realized how deeply those ideas resonated with him. And I thought, well, that's kind of extraordinary, because apparently a song doesn't need our conscious attention to carry its story with us. We learn the melody, we hear the words over and over. Maybe we sing along without really thinking about them, and somewhere along the way, an idea that began in somebody else's mind becomes familiar, sometimes before we've ever stopped to ask what it means. Which brings me back to Pete Seeger. Finding the right songs and singing them over and over is a way to start. Maybe that's part of why we write songs. We choose to sing together. What we choose to sing together matters so much. Today, we've sung about hope when it's hard to find, about wholeness when we've been told that we're broken, transformation when we've fallen, connection when we've forgotten its power. These aren't descriptions of the world as it is. These are stories about the world and ourselves as we hope they can be. It is by the real that we exist. It's by the ideal that we live. And maybe that's the real power of a song. Someone imagines something that isn't quite real yet and gives the rest of us a way to imagine it with them. We write songs to sing out love, and we sing to live out love. Now, please rise in body or spirit to sing our closing hymn, Hold Fast to Love, by Lynn Harrison.
Hold fast to love, for it's not broken. Hold fast to love.
I would like to invite you all to coffee hour after the service. You can be seated, sure. That sounds great. I'd like to invite you all to coffee hour after the service, and I hear it's wonderful out there. Now, as we close this service and embody the flame, I invite you to notice each time one of the songs that we sang today tickles your mind. Just notice when you find yourself singing out love. And I invite you to remember that we sing out love to live out love. Thank you.